wala kaming list. We would
as a-
like to
I think
acknowledge
it would-
the presence of the widows.
Mr. Chair, I think it would be easy to say the families and the widows of the SA 44.
After the votation. Okay.
Okay, public law.
What? Kindly,
Ang
Congressman Colmenares,
motion
kindly
po
repeat
ni
your
Honorable
motion.
Colmenares ay yung appeal na kung pwede po ipadala yung sulat and yung questions na 20 question at nag-object po si Honorable Erice at Fariñas, so the chair decided that to put into votation. So the first to vote is
Clarification, Mr. Chairman.
the first to vote is the public law and order, and the next is the
Public safety.
public
Clarification,
safety.
Mr. Chairman, regarding the motion. Kasi ang motion ba, ipadadala lang kay Pangulo yung sulat? O kailangan ipadala yung sulat, kinakailangan sagutin ni Pangulo, at kung sasagutin ni Pangulo, yung bang sagot ay under oath. And that is the clarification which we want because we
The
are
motion
voting
is
on a very
the
important
committee
mission.
send the list of questions and request, if possible, the President can reply. Of course, it's the decision of the President whether to reply to all or some or none at all. But at least the committee has fulfilled its function. Ganun lang po kasimple ang motion. And I really hope this is not a suit. In David versus Arroyo, the Supreme Court said na the President is immune from civil and criminal charges. This is not a criminal charge. This is not a civil charge. So this is a simple asking of a list of answers to a list of questions. Yun lang po kasimple. And I really hope that the committee will rule in favor of the power of this House, the constitutional power to hear this case, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Colmenares. On the part of public order and safety, who's in favor of the motion, please stand up. The
Mr.
members
Chair.
of the public order and safety who are in favor of the motion to send the question, to write the question, or to answer the question, send to Malacañang. Please rise.
Mr. Chair.
Those who are against the motion, please rise. Members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety. Thank you very much. Those against have it on the part of Committee on Public Order and Safety.
On the part
The
of
motion is lost. On
the part of the Special Committee on Peace and Reconciliation and Unity, those who are in favor of the motion of the Honorable Colmenares, please rise. And those who are against, the member of the Special Committee on Peace and members. Those who are against.
Those who are against. Oh,
Those who are against.
Mr. Chair, dalawang boto kasi I'm a member of both eh.
Ah, you
Ganun
can.
ba yun? So I can still stand. Okay. Count me positive.
Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you. 14 is on the negative and 3 on positive. Thank you. The motion is lost.
Thank you,
May I
Mr.
now
Chair.
turn over again the chair to the Honorable Ferrer.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, before we continue, we will acknowledge the presence of the widows of SAF 44. Kindly stand up. Relatives. Thank you very much. And also, the presence of Congressman Tambunting and Congressman Lanete, and also Congressman Batocabe. Now let's proceed with
Mr.
our
Chairman,
hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'm also present, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman, you are recognized. And also,
Mr. Chair.
yes, after you. No. Yes, Congressman Lubrigat.
We were just, we finished voting on the issue of inviting the president. We would have wanted to not have a vote because that is divisive. Because anyway, the president really has executive privilege. And I'm sure Malacanang is watching. And if Malacanang wants to send any answer, it is the president's prerogative. But anyway, we have voted. But I would like to call to the attention of the committee that there are other...
She is coming. She just had to finish one engagement. She is coming.
They are not present today. One of them is Professor Miriam Coronel Ferrer, whose presence is very, very important in this hearing and the subsequent hearing. So may I know from OPAP what is the reason? And I don't think we should have any excuse. And I will go on to the other list, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, the Honorable
Your Honor, she is coming. She just had to finish one engagement. She is coming.
Okay. Mr. Chair, another invited guest was Honorable Iqbal, the chairman of the MILF panel, the Bangsamoro Transition Committee. I do not think he is present today. In fact, when the Senate conducted its hearings on the first and even the second day, almost all the senators made an issue of the non-presence of the MILF. And other invited guests that the Secretariat did not read the name. I don't know if they are here. They might be here, but I think Colonel Feliciano, Colonel De Rosario, Police Superintendent, Senior Superintendent Mendez, Police Senior Henrik Magalang, Mangalang, the commandant of the 4th Battalion. Also, we have invited Police Inspector Raymond Train, Police Senior Inspector Abellera, Police Senior Inspector Lyndon Espe, PO2 Lloyd Ensoy, SPO2 Tebeng, PO2 Lalang, and I understand the invitation was also sent to Romel Magno of the 84th, also to Police Chief Inspector Raymond Cabiling, the medical legal, who can testify on the autopsy, and also Police Senior Inspector Aranas. May I know from the Secretariat if they are present?
Mr. Chair.
You are recognized.
Mr. Chair, with respect to the inquiry of the gentleman from Zamboanga City, I recognize some of the names as being active operatives of the SAF who actually participated in the Mamasapano incident. No? For security reasons, because they were active frontline participants, they are not, should the House wish to meet with them in executive and secret session, they would be very happy to comply. But it is not wise to show their faces and their identities because they were active participants in this operation, and therefore are subject to retribution or revenge by others. No? So I just bring that to the attention of the committee, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretary Rojas. Yes, Congressman.
Yes, definitely we understand and we agree with the Secretary. It is just that we wanted to know if they would be present and they would be available for the executive sessions, but this would only refer to the active SAP members that participated during the Mamasapano incident. But others like the Police Chief Inspector Raymond Cabaling, the medical legal,
No, no,
and Police Inspector Aranas and others from the armed forces should be present. That's why we are asking if they are present, except those that participated in the Mamasapano, which will be heard in executive session.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to those who actively participated, including the planning of the operation, we would be happy to make them available. We will await the communication from the committee, and they will be available subject to the security precautions for their own personal safety. All others are. I do not speak for them. With respect to Chief Sup na, di ba? Chief Sup na si Mendez. With respect to Chief Sup Mendez, he runs the intelligence operation of the PNP, the IG, and likewise, we would want for him to also face the committee in executive session, not in open session, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Secretary Rojas. Now we will send the invitation when we have executive session. But
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
yes,
Am I
Congresswoman,
recognized, Mr. Chair? Just a brief inquiry, Mr. Chair, since we are on the issue of resource persons. May I just know if the Department of Foreign Affairs would also be invited, since they were the first to deny the involvement of the American troops, Mr. Chair?
we did not send invitation to the.
Mr. Chair.
Maybe in the next meeting.
Mr. Chair, we still have another day. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Yeah, how about the MILF, Muhammad Iqbal, who is not here? And there are so many questions that need to be asked. In the last meeting, it was Mr. Ladyasan, who was a member of the CCCH of the MNLF, which is also a very, very important component in this inquiry. So nobody from the MILF is present. So how can we really conduct a probe to ferret out the truth if nobody from the MILF is here?
Well, just for the information of the members of these two committees, the Secretariat had sent an invitation to Muhammad Iqbal, particularly for this hearing, and unluckily we did not receive any response from them, just so that the committees would also know that we make an effort out of it.
So we cannot just be saying unluckily if he just does not appear. When he did not appear in the Senate, this was a very, very big issue, and even the senators were saying that if he does not appear, then the committee hearings on even the BBL will not be heard.
Well, for the
you know, if he
information
cannot-
of the Honorable Rodriguez, I think it is not to be fair with the committee and so with the Secretariat and the Chair, it is, I think, not the fault of this committee for not for the MILF not being around, but the thing that we can do is to ask them why are they not sending any representative to this hearing.
Chair, I am not blaming the committee. The committee is not at fault. But the presence of the MILF is required in this committee hearing because they are the other party, the other side. So if they are invited to a committee hearing, they respected the Senate. On the third and all the other hearings, Chairman Iqbal was present. But here, this is the second hearing, and everybody knows that we might only have 2 hearings today and tomorrow, and he refuses to be here. I think the committee should make a stronger stand. If you want, Mr. Chairman, can I move for a 1-minute suspension?
Before the minute suspension, I really respect the sentiments of the Honorable Rebrigat, since really the chair, both the chair of the committees have really done a lot just so that they can be invited. And with that, we agree with the minute suspension.
Another suspension from the committee chair, Jim Hataman Saliman. Well, it was Congressman Celso Lobregat who was citing the absence of a number of resource persons. First, the Government Peace Panel chair, Professor Miriam Coronel Ferrer, but OPAP Secretary Ging Deles says Professor Ferrer will be attending the event. She just came from another event. MLF Peace Panel Chair Jerry Bal is not also there, that being highlighted by Congressman Celso Lobregat, saying, highlighting his importance, the importance of his attendance. Active staff members not also there, but the ILG Secretary Maro has saying those active staff members, as well as the PNP Intel Chief Fernando Mendez, can participate in the hearing during an executive session, but they would like to safeguard their identities for their security. Another member of the House raising the issue on why Foreign Affairs Representative was not there, when they were the first to deny that there was no U.S. Involvement during the Mamasapano encounter. It has been more than an hour since the hearing at the House has resumed, but most of the time they were arguing about a motion raised by the Makabayan Bloc for the committee to send a list of questions and to have the President reply to it or not. That motion was denied overwhelmingly by members of both committees.
Maybe we could make another invitation with, I think, making some statement on the invitation that we are not really happy with what they are doing, for not being here today.
We are very displeased.
We are displeased, if that is the pleasure of the Honorable Representative.
And may I make another to add
Chairman,
to
I
Congressman
still have the floor.
Lobregat, right now they are in a FOCAP, which is a press conference. So if they can be there, I don't understand why is that more important than being here? At least give us some respect.
Noted, Congresswoman Kawanko.
Yeah. It is not that we are not only unhappy, we are very displeased, and also by not showing up, they are waiving the right. Once we come up with the committee report and whatever findings we have, they should not question it because they refuse to be present. And finally, they are not pushing their agenda. They are wanting to pass the BBL. By their not being present here today in this hearing, they are showing a very, very antagonistic stand toward the House of Representatives.
You noted, Honorable Robregat, we will send a letter again and putting those words that was mentioned by the Honorable Robregat.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, for the record, can I put this into a motion? Strongly urging the
minute suspension.
Motion raised by Congressman Celso Lobregat to invite a representative of the MILF, particularly the MILF's Peace Panel Chair, Marjorie Iqbal. Cecil Obregat was asking why the MILF representative cannot be there. The committee chair, Jim Hataman Saliman, doesn't seem keen on insisting on his presence, but just saying that they will send a letter noting they are displeased with the MILF's absence. Okay, we'll wait for the ruling of the chair if that motion will be.
Defense is recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mentioned earlier are present. Colonel Feliciano, please stand up. Colonel Del Rosario, Lieutenant Panamogan, Lieutenant Rivera, Lieutenant Banoya Jr., Lieutenant Mateo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Sir.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
The
Mr. Chair,
the Honorable Obregat and then the Honorable Mangudadato.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Upon consultation with the chairman, they assured us that we don't need to put it into a motion. However, a letter will be written by the committee expressing what has been stated earlier, that we are displeased, that more or less by not being present here today, they are waiving the right, and if we come up with a report, they should not question it, and also by not being present here today, they are not pushing the agenda of trying to pass the BBL.
Noted.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, the Honorable Mangudadato.
Just Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, we have in the invitation list, we have marked the members of the operatives, and so we will give this to the chair, so that should you wish to invite this personnel, then we will arrange it. But these are the personnel who were directly involved in the planning and execution of the operation.
Thank you, Honorable Marrojas. Please submit those that are listed in the notes. And next to be recognized is the Honorable Mangudadato.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Next is Congresswoman Garcia.
Last hearing, Mr. Chair, I made also a short manifestation with regard to the resource person that we invited, especially the mayors of the SPMS box, the mayors of Mamasapano, the Sheriff sa Iduna, Sultan sa Barongis, and other mayor. So their presence, Mr. Chair, I think is very essential as to get more essential facts that we may not aware. So may I request, Mr. Chair, to re-invite the mayors of the SPMS box?
For the information of the Honorable from the 2nd District of Maguindanao, the Honorable Mayor of Mamasapano had written us and regret in attending this particular hearing. If the chair would like to be permitted to read this, is the letter of the Honorable Ampatuan. And so with the other that was suggested during the last meeting,
the ruling of the chair is that hindi namin alam kung sino pa yung gusto ninyo i-invite eh. Paki-submit na lang sa secretariat. Because meron pa naman tayo hearing bukas. Pag nasambit nyo na yung mga pangalan na gusto ninyo imbitahan, time. So, the last person, yes, Congressman Garcia. And then we will proceed with our inquiry.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Chair. Just a clarification,
And
Mr.
after
Chair.
Congresswoman Garcia, Congressman Pagdilaw.
I understand that we have scheduled 2 hearings, one for today and one for tomorrow. May we know if all of our invited resource speakers or persons will be present for both days so that we congressmen will be guided accordingly when we shall be asking questions of the resource speakers who are present today but may not be present tomorrow.
Thank you.
And my second question is, we have acknowledged the presence of the Mamasapano widows and members of the family. May we know if some congressmen may have some questions to ask from them, would they be allowed to answer in the person of a spokesperson? Those are my 2 questions, Mr. Chair.
First is we just forgot to inform the members that the Secretary of the ILG had wrote us a letter that he will not be present tomorrow because of some activities in other provinces. So the chair would suggest that if any questions that is going to be asked to the Honorable Secretary, we advise the members to question it now. To the second question by the Honorable Garcia, ang pag-invite po sa mga pamilya ng Mamasapano, pamilya ng Mamasapano victim ay bisita lang po, hindi para as resource person. So understandably, hindi po pwede tanungin yung pamilya ng mga kamag-anak ng Mamasapano. Maraming salamat po.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, may I be acknowledged? Committee Secretariat that they are now in possession of the report, records of the BOI. So in that regard, Mr. Chairman, we know that we are constrained by time and we need to speed up the proceedings. I now move that we adopt as part of the records of this committee investigation the records of the BOI and the Senate records of their investigation, and to include the speeches of the President uttered or spoken in relation to the Mamasapano incident, Mr. Chairman.
The affidavits.
All records.
The person that was in the Mamasapano will help us even in the questioning. Because if we are satisfied with the affidavits, then we don't need to ask further questions. But if we we have certain questions on the affidavit, then we can go direct to the affidavits, and this will shortcut or shorten the process. So can we have also the affidavits of the resource persons, especially those resource persons that are present? So at least
All
we can
the
go
records
direct.
of the BOI
Yes.
and Senate are included.
Yes. So can we have, even for tomorrow, the affidavits of those resource persons that are present? So at least we can ask them directly already. Okay. Would that be possible? I think General Magalong can answer that question.
Your
Yes,
Honor, we
General
have
Magalong.
included in our report that were submitted to the HOR were copies of the 367, were copies of the sworn statements of 367 affiants. It was already submitted to the House of
Mr.
Representatives,
Chairman.
Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, here, to your left. I am a congressman, not a general anymore. Former, yes. Mr. Chairman, there is a motion for us to adopt the investigation reports of the BOI and the inquiry of the Senate. I have the copies of these two documents, but in the form of summaries. If the motion to adopt this does not include the truth and the wisdom of the findings, for example, the findings of the Senate, there are 17 findings and there are 10 recommendations. I would understand, Mr. Chairman, that we are not adopting these findings and conclusions. We are accepting the submissions of this
May I be clarified? So we are adopting the facts as stated in those documents as established in these proceedings likewise, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, the Honorable
Chair.
Pagdilaw.
Let me just clarify my motion, Mr. Chair. What I'm raising is for this committee, the joint committees, to include in our record, especially so that we need all of this when we come up with our committee report. But we are not bound by the conclusion of or the findings of these reports or investigation reports, whether it's the BOI, the Senate, and even the up-and-coming report that will be submitted by the Department of Justice, Mr. Chairman. And when we say records of this will include even the affidavits, everything that has been made part of the records of this investigation conducted by both BOI and the Senate, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Is the Honorable Defensor already satisfied with the answer by the Honorable Pagdilaw?
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Chairman. But as I understand it, we can only adopt evidence here because those records will be considered as evidence, as documentary evidence. If the members of the committee will have a chance to ask questions or technically to cross-examine the persons who wrote those documents or who were responsible for executing those documents. That is the reason why I have my misgivings as to the adoption of those documents. If we invite the persons who executed those documents to appear here and they submit those documents, we can adopt them as part of the records. But if we adopt them as part of the records, they automatically become evidence in this committee, Mr. Chairman. And the members of our honorable colleagues did not have a chance to ask questions, Mr. Chairman.
This representation expressed his intent, what he means by the adoption of these records as part of the, or I mean the reports of the BOI and the Senate as part of the records, is exactly what has been explained. So if the insertion of the word adopted for purposes of reference, then I'll amend that, Mr. Chairman, to clarify my motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, in that case, I will withdraw my apprehension or objection to the motion of the gentleman, Mr. Chairman.
Any second to the motion that was being moved by? Okay. The motion is approved. Can we now proceed with the proper hearing so that, you know, while having our lunch, we can now proceed with the hearing. Thank you. Before the, if I may, before the chair would recognize the first interpolator, may I recognize the Commissioner Kamlian of the Bangsamoro Transition Commission, and so with Representative Susan Yap and Representative Ruby Sahali. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman Saliman. Okay, let's go to the person who will first to ask question, Congressman Hiccup. Yes, sir. You may have the floor.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, ang katanungan po ay direkta kay General Purisima. Pwede na po ako magpatuloy, Mr. Chair. General Purisima, kayo ang inatasan ng Pangulo para mga siwa sa napakasensitibong Mamasapano project sa panahon kung na kayo ay suspendido. Hindi ba ninyo naisip nung panahong yon na hindi tama ang pagtalaga sa iyo ng Pangulo sa offline exodus?
Your Honor, Mr. Chairs, hindi po ako namamahala during that operation, Your Honor.
Kung hindi kayo namamahala, bakit sa inyo nagre-report si General Napiñas at kayo ay nagre-report kay Pangulo? Hindi lang simpleng advisor yun o really, General Purisima. Diba? Simpleng advisor yun o really, General Purisima. Di ba? At General Purisima, kailan nga ba kayo binigyan ng order ng Pangulo na mag-coordinate kay General Espina at General Katapang?
Your Honor, on the first question, yung patungkol po sa...
Bakit sa inyo nagre-report si General Purisima ay General Napiñas at kayo ang nagre-report kay Pangulo?
Your Honor, the Police Director Napeñas has no direct access to the President, and I was just relaying all the information that was given me to the President, Your Honor. On the second question, ang sinabi po sa akin ni Pangulo noong January 9 na kailangan i-coordinate na kay General Espina yung operation about Mamasapano, Your Honor.
Sabi nung magsalita si Pangulong Aquino, ay kayo yung direktang nag-inform sa kanya. At sabi siya pa nga, kaugnay ng coordination mo, ay nagsisinungaling daw kayo. Ano bang nasabi ninyo sa kanya na hindi totoo?
Your Honor, sa pagkakalam ko, wala po siyang sinabing nagsisinungaling ako. Ang naalala ko po, yung tinatanong po dito ay tungkol po dun sa artillery. At yung impormasyon po tungkol sa artillery ay nanggaling po sa Commanding General po ng Western Mindanao Command na si Lieutenant General Guerrero nung siya po ay tinanong ko kung paano natutulungan yung mga tropa natin sa Mamasapano.
Kaya yun yung in-inform mo kay Pangulo na sinasabi niya na nagsisinungaling kayo.
Yun po yung impormasyon na pinadala ko po sa ating Pangulo, Your Honor.
Na ibig sabihin, hindi po kayo nagsisinungaling kay Pangulo?
Hindi po yung nagsisinungaling, Your Honor. I was just relaying an information. Your Honor, may I submit to this committee yung pong mga SMS transcription of messages between myself and His Excellency from January 8 to January 25, Your Honor. On January 25 at 5:45 a.m. from Police Director General Purisima. The text message is like this. Sir, good morning. For info, SAP elements implemented o plan against high-value targets. As of now, results indicate that Marwan was killed and one SAF trooper wounded. The body of Marwan was left behind. From pictures were taken. The troopers are now withdrawal phase and progress report to follow. At 7:36, Your Honor, His Excellency replied, why was it left behind the other two targets? At 7:48, Your Honor, I replied, sir, accordingly, the nearest gathering pictures and other evidences. They were not able to reach the secondary target, sir. At 7:59,
Asa si Alma na National Chairman ng Councilors League of the Philippines.
Correctly, 160 SAF troopers were directly involved in this operation, plus provisions for other PNP and AFP units to assist. The terrain is flat and clear as opposed to upland, forested, and jungle terrain. Why they could not contain or overwhelm the 15 to 20 member opposing force? Are they still in contact with other two targets? If not, and the opposing force has escaped, are we back to square? I mean, sir, the first target was M1, where they were able to neutralize first. The group of Basit retaliated, which was about 100 meters away. His Excellency replied at 10:16 a.m., Basit should not get away. At 11:38 a.m., already advised, sir, but as of the moment, the main effort is withdrawing, and according to the Director IG, we still have our contact and and will hit them again, sir. At 6:20 p.m.,
Sa nyo na ay naandyan lahat.
at the last text message I sent, Your Honor, is at 11:38 minutes before the 6:20 p.m., Your Honor.
Okay. Hindi po kayo nagsisinungaling kay Pangulo. Automatic,
Hindi po, Your Honor.
yung information nyo na ibinibigay kay Pangulo ay updated.
Yes, Your Honor. If I will make the reference that was made with my text to Lieutenant General Guerrero when he texted me at 8:03 a.m. Meron ng coordination sa ground. Tank, infantry, and artillery support are made available. That was the text message, Your Honor, given to me by Lieutenant General Guerrero at 8:03 a.m.
So bakit support sa artillery o si Pangulo?
Ako po ay nagre-relay lang po ng information, Your Honor. Inire-relay ko lang po yung information na nakukuha ko sa ating mga kasabahan sa Armed Forces at kay Police Director Napeñas. At hindi po ako nagko-command. Hindi po ako nakikialam kung paano sila mag-operate. Ako po ay nagbibigay lamang po ng impormasyon, Your Honor.
Kaya si Pangulo, based sa information na binibigay nyo, ano ba yung kanyang aksyon kung meron man kayong alam o ginawa sa panahon na halos sabi mo ay updating doon sa mga nangyayari doon sa Mamasapano?
Hindi ko na po alam, Your Honor, kung ano po yung actions na ginawa ng ating Pangulo because I was not with him during that time, Your Honor.
Maliban ba doon sa text, nagkausap ba kayo o tinawagan mo man lamang si Presidente para direkta na magkausap kayo doon sa sitwasyon noong panahon yun?
No, Your Honor, I did not call the President, Your Honor.
Bakit hindi man lang kayo sa gano'n na, no? Na gano'n na katindi yung nangyayari doon sa Mamasapano? Natawagan para direkta na mag-usap kayo doon sa nagaganap doon sa Mamasapano?
Your Honor, I learned that the President was in Zamboanga that time and He was with the secretaries and other armed forces officials. And ang alam ko po, Your Honor,
Nandun din si Presidente sa Zamboanga, napakalapit.
sila nga po, Your Honor. That's why I'm not...
Anyway, yan sana ang pinakamahalaga, Mr. Chair, doon sa motion ni Congressman Colmenares na dapat imbitahan si Presidente Aquino para sila direkta na siya ang sumagot doon sa ating mga katanungan. At ito rin yung hinahanap ng pamilya ng mga biktima, yung SAP at saka yung iba pang mga biktima doon sa Mamasapano. Dito sa Exodus, na nai-report nyo na at batay na rin sa inyo noong January 9, ano yung napag-usapan nyo ni Presidente Aquino? Nung kayo na lang, after nang lumabas na si General Piñas at iba pang kasama doon sa pag-uusap, na kung saan ay sinabihan mo si General Piñas na kayo nang bahala kay Katapang at kay Espina.
Your Honor, on January 9, the meeting what the...
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, in the previous hearing of this joint committee, the guests were the resource persons were asked to take their oath, so their statements would be under oath. So
This is a continued hearing.
So just to clarify,
Yes.
it is understood
He is under oath.
that the statements are still under oath.
Peñas who conducted the briefing. The President made comments and instructions, but this cannot be deemed as approval of the mission which is based on PNP's legal mandate and court order to arrest Marwan and Basitos Man. Your Honor, ang pinag-usapan po after the briefing, nagpunta po kami dun sa music room ng ating Pangulo at napag-usapan po yung tungkol po sa mga equipment sa musika, and it was here when he mentioned that the President mentioned that Police Deputy Director General Espina should be informed about the operations.
Okay.
Congressman Hiccup, your time is up.
Okay. Last one question na lang,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Last question, please.
May alam ka ba o may knowledge ka ba na mayroong partisipasyon ang US dito sa o involvement dito sa Mamasapano o dito sa Exodus?
Your Honor, dito po sa Oplan Exodus, as far as I know, wala pong participation ng US counterparts na nalalaman ko po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, pwede bang maka-isang question pa kay General Napiñas?
Tama na. Last na yun. Kasi kung, okay.
Question.
Next, second round. Pwede naman mag-second round. The next person to ask question is Congressman Defensor. But before that, we would like to acknowledge, the Chair would like to acknowledge Congressman Anthony Del Rosario.
Was an execution of a warrant of arrest. From what case did this warrant of arrest arise? What is the caption, the name of this case, and where is it pending? And who are the other respondents in this case or accused?
Your Honor, the Honorable Chairs, good morning, sir. The basis of this Operation Exodus was based on the warrant of arrest issued against the subject Abdul Basit Usman and Marwan. I have here with me, included in the intelligence estimate, the different warrant of arrest of subject persons. The first warrant of arrest that I have is dated 18th of December of 2007, issued by Kidapawan City, the 12th Judicial Region, Branch 23 of Kidapawan City, against Abdul Basit Usman. I have another warrant of arrest issued by the Regional Trial Court, 11th Judicial Region, Branch 22 and General Santos City, against Abdul Basit Usman also.
So, tama ba? Galing po ito sa dalawang kaso?
Ang kaso po dito, murder, prostrated murder, multiple murder po, Your Honor.
Now, with respect to these warrants of arrest, sino bang opisyal ng PNP to whom the warrants of arrest were delivered for execution?
Ibinibigay po yan sa any law enforcer, Your Honor. At nagkataon, yung Special Action Force, its primary mission, one of its primary mission is counter-terrorism. Pending doon sa korte kung saan nakapile, Your Honor.
With respect to the obligation to report to the court what happened in the execution of the warrant of arrest, who is the officer who made this report to the respective regional trial courts with respect to the outcome of the execution of the warrants of arrest?
Ito po yung natasan yung intelligence officer namin at saka yung commanding officer ng 4th Battalion na mag-serve sila ng return of warrant doon sa korte na nag-issue sa mga warrant po ni Marwan, Your Honor.
Sino po sila?
Ang una kong inatasan, si Senior Superintendent De La Rosa, yung aming intelligence officer, at siya po rin po ang nakipag-coordinate doon sa commanding officer ng 4th Battalion na nakabase doon sa Kidapawan City, North Cotabato, Your Honor.
Ano po ang nakasulat doon sa return o kaya yung report na ginawa nila sa korte hinggil sa pag-execute ng warrant of arrest? Anong sinabi nila sa report na iyon?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, wala ko pong hawak na ganun na kopya. But magkukuha po kami, Your Honor, para mabigyan kayo ng kopya kung kinakailangan.
But can we categorically say that the PNP made a report to the courts after the execution of the warrant?
Yes, Your Honor. Ginawa po namin yan.
True to the knowledge of our resource persons present here today, we don't know what was written in the return or the report of the PNP to the courts. Baka may mga kasama tayong dito na alam nila kung anong laman ng report ng PNP sa korte. So we are interested, no? In any event, Mr. Chairman, may we request that the committee be furnished with a copy of the return that was submitted by the Philippine National Police to the respective courts. We are interested, Mr. Chairman. So, are we settled on that no one from our resource persons can answer the question as to the content of the report of the PNP to the courts? Without having anyone, Mr. Chairman, to testify on the contents of the return to the courts, may we get the sense of the PNP on this? As established in the investigations in other fora, the evidence that was gathered from the operation, especially with respect to Marwan, was a cut finger. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
Please, General Napeñas, if you could answer the question.
That's true, Your Honor, including pictures taken from the subject in his hut.
Ito ba ay sinumiti ninyo sa korte ang mga ebidensya na nakuha natin dun sa execution ng warrant of arrest?
Hindi pa, Your Honor. Hindi namin na-submit sa korte. Instead, yung finger na nakuha namin doon sa kay Marwan, dinala po doon sa Tactical Command Post. At after 2 days, yun po yung i-turn over natin doon sa Federal Bureau of Investigation Representative. Kasi po yung team leader ng assault force na si Superintendent Train, nakita niya na masisira, mabubulok after 2 days dahil nandun na kami sa Cotabato during that time. Undergoing na kami ng BOI inquiry. At masisira po yun. Ngayon, there was already a strong clamor from the public at that time na dapat makonfirma na kung siya nga si Marwan yung napatay. Ang pangatlo po na dahilan kung bakit ibinigay ni Superintendent Train doon sa FBI, sila po ang may hawak doon sa database na pwedeng i-confirma o ikumpara yung sample na nakuha kay Marwan doon sa operation, Your Honor.
Execution of the case before the courts. So right now, the evidence is not yet with the courts, but it will be submitted later to the courts in the course of the proceedings. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. We will do that.
Is it safe to say that this is reflected in the report that was made by the PNP to the courts as a matter of natural course?
Congressman Defense, sorry. Time is
inyong katanungan at hindi ko po nakuha ng maayos.
No, I'm saying that can we assume or is it safe to say na ito bang the fact that the evidence is not yet with courts and it was submitted somewhere else, can we say that it is stated in the return that was made to the court, if at all there was a return? Ito ba'y nakalagay sa return na ibinigay ninyo doon sa ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ang ebidensya?
Katulad yung sinabi ko, Your Honor, hindi ko po nakita na personally yung return na papunta doon sa korte at kaya hindi ko po masagot yung katanungan ng diretsahan, Your Honor.
My time is up. That is all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman Defensor. Next,